Hey guys, and welcome back to VinylDecalStickers.com. Today I'm going to go ahead and do a quick tutorial on how to install a sun visor or a windshield eyebrow. First thing you want to go ahead and do is make sure that the windshield is really nice and clean, properly cleaned. Some sort of glass cleaner with a microfiber cloth to make sure that you get all of the residue off and any kind of road debris off of it. It's very important because if you don't get all that off, you're going to go ahead and see little black specks from underneath, and it's not going to properly stick to the windshield. You want to go ahead and make sure you get the decal cleaned and you don't have any residue on that. I'm going to go ahead and stretch it across the windshield over here to make sure that it's at a perfect center fit. I'm using the markers on the windshield. You can go ahead and measure if you want a specific height, and you can use a little bit of tape, masking tape, if you want to go ahead and mark off your exact dimensions. So if you want to go down a few inches, make sure you check with your state laws first exactly how far down you can go, and you can put a piece of masking tape down to mark your place. But I'm going to go ahead for this tutorial. I'm going to go ahead and use the actual lines that are right there on the windshield. Most of them should have it. I'm going to go ahead and tape off one side. Just put a little piece of tape in the center just to hold it, and then a little bit in the on the outer edges. This is just more to hold it in place for now. We'll go ahead and put another piece of tape later on as we go on. Went on ahead and put one in the center just to hold it. I'm going to throw another small piece on this side just to make sure that we have a nice fit. Again, I'm using the black line right over there to make sure that it's got a nice straight edge. I'm going to run over here to this other side right now to make sure that I line it up properly. You don't want it to be too crooked or sideways, or gotta make sure it looks good. I'm going to take this piece off just to make sure that I can move it around up and down as I need to. Once you get it where you like to, go ahead and put your small piece of masking tape. Again, this is just to hold it in place until you get it exactly centered where you want it. You come back over here to your other side and double check to make sure that it's still where it's supposed to be and everything lines up nice and neat. I'm going to leave it because it's perfect. Now you want to go ahead and make sure you get another piece of masking tape and you put that on top to make sure you secure it and you hold it in place so it doesn't slide or move around on you. It's nice and snug. There we go. That's perfect. Now I'm going to come back over here and move this little piece that holds it in place. Get rid of that to make sure there's no residue on the vinyl. Move it nice and slow. Now you want to go ahead and peel the actual vinyl back and remove the backing off of it. It should come off nice and easy. You can go ahead and lay the vinyl back on itself. It won't really do any harm or damage. It'll be just fine, and it usually stays really well in place. Make sure you give yourself a little bit of space from the masking tape so you can cut it nice and straight without getting too close to the tape or the vinyl so it doesn't move. Your position won't move on you. Now, one thing you don't want to do is you don't want to rip it, because if you rip it, you get all the little particles, the dust particles, and that will get on your windshield, and from the inside you'll see them from when you're driving. I'm just going to go ahead and run through and do a quick little wipe down on it, just to make sure it's nice and clean. You don't want to use any kind of tools or squeegees or anything like that on the actual vinyl, because they can scratch it if you push down too hard onto it. I'm just going to go ahead and use my finger for now. You can purchase a squeegee that has a felt backing to it, but for this particular application, I don't think that's quite necessary. Nice, even, up and down motion. Your thumb seems to be working the best. It's nice and steady, nice and slow. Make sure you get it really close to the top. If you have any kind of air pockets, small ones, you can do a little bit of correction, but if you peel back too much, it will stretch the vinyl, and then you're going to come back out and it's not going to stay very straight. As you notice, it's nice and steady, nice and slow. Make sure that you get most of the air pockets out. If you do see a small bubble, don't worry about it. Most of the bubbles will come out in a couple of weeks once the sun hits it, and with the heat it'll shrink right up against the window and look perfect. So if you see a small little bubble, don't worry about it. You want to go ahead and get as close as you can to the actual top of it to make sure that it's nice and steady. We'll come back to this side right here in a minute and cut it out. I'm going to go ahead and get this other side ready. I'm going to go and fast forward once I show you how to take the backing off the second side. I'll fast forward a little bit so you don't, so we kind of move right along here. You want to go ahead and remove the masking tape nice and steady, nice and slow. You don't want to stretch the vinyl too much. If you use the low adhesive masking tape, it'll come off a lot easier. You want to go ahead and pull the backing off this other side. What I like to do is I like to connect the backing that I just removed with the very ends that I have a place to hold it. You can see better in the reflection on the glass how I'm holding the two ends together. Peel it all the way back out. Have a nice, that came off a little bit over there. There we go. Have a nice and straight so you don't have, you have something to hold on to. And you're going to go ahead and repeat the same step on this side right here. You're going to want to make sure you take your time on this one. Go nice and slow and steady. There's no rush. Just nice and slow. Just take your time on this one. There's no point in getting it done fast. You want to make sure that it turns out really, really nice. And that is the difference between a good job and a quick throw together. Go ahead and get that started up again. Make sure that you have a nice clean surface, no bubbles. And let's go ahead and fast forward just a little bit over here to the actual cutting of the surface. Once you get this all installed and it looks all nice and straight, you want to make sure that the top of it is nice and level with it. You want to take your X-Acto knife and slowly cut through it. Make sure you cut through the vinyl, but you don't cut your rubber seal around your window. And be very careful so you don't cut that seal. Just take it nice and slow, nice and steady. You can use your finger to guide it if you need to. You're going to come down. Looks like I missed a spot right there. Make sure you cut through the vinyl, because once you peel it back and you remove it, if you missed a spot where you cut it, it's going to peel up and stretch it. There we go. Make sure it's nice and slow, and then you can use your finger to kind of push it back up inside. Use your nail if you need to. I wouldn't recommend using any kind of plastics or squeegees or anything like that, because again, if you push too hard, it can scratch it slightly up on the top corners, and you don't want to damage it. Come back over here to this other side right now. Again, make sure that you get your vinyl nice and snug inside as close as you can to the black liner, so you don't have too big of a gap, and then that way your line won't come out, won't be too crooked. It'll be nice and straight and steady. Again, I'm kind of just doing this quickly, running through it really fast. You're going to want to spend a little bit more time to make sure that it's nice and perfect. You can use your finger if you need to see where the windshield meets the rubber seal around it. Take it nice and slow and steady. Make sure you cut it really, really straight. There we go. And then come back down to the very bottom. Start down from the bottom again. You want to be really careful over here in the corner. You want to make sure that it's not too stretched or too clustered over here, because you will have to come back if you don't get that all stretched and nice and straight. Take that thing off. And I did miss a little bit of a piece right over here. I'm going to come back here in a second and make sure you push that in nice and neat underneath. Everything's looking good. And if you're missing anything, just go ahead and peel it back up a little bit. You can do a little bit of corrections, get that all nice and cut, and you're all set and ready to roll. Again, take your time, do it right, and it's really not that hard, and it'll look really nice, and you get a really nice professional look to it. And again, if you have any small bubbles or any air particles inside, most of them will come out with the sun, so don't worry about the little small things. Again, this is Daniel from Vinyl Decal Stickers. If you have any other questions or concerns or want to see any other videos, contact us and we'll go ahead and shoot a video up on the link for you. And until the next one, you guys have a good one.